The last two videos I released have been rather successful, with many views and a lot of comments. The underlying thread among the comments seems to be politics. Not that I'm too political. No, the theme of the comments seems to be that entertainment is too political to enjoy, and thus is beginning to fail. So today, I thought I'd take a deeper look at the topic and give you my answer to the question. Let's start out with the biggest clusterfuck of politics and entertainment of all time, the 2016 presidential election. It was an interesting time to be alive, to say the least. Every minute, we were bombarded with the media taking up one candidate while trashing the other. It's common to see news sources be on the left and on the right. But this one was everywhere. Talk shows, MTV, award shows, and everything else between was filled to the brim with anti-Trump sentiment. I can get not liking the guy, but you couldn't get away from it, and it turned off a lot of people. Let's look at two examples of people tuning out from this political rhetoric: the Academy Awards and the MTV Music Awards. According to Time magazine, the 2017 Academy Awards drew 32.9 million US viewers, the smallest audience since 2008. With the Oscars, it could be many things. The fact that movies people like never win, the fact that it's one big rich circle jerk, or it could be the fact that people just want to save themselves 4 hours of being talked down to by a bunch of disillusioned famous people. If you go back a month prior to January of 2017, the world was treated to approximately 6 minutes of hot, stinky air, compliments of Meryl Streep, where she essentially said nothing. From a personal standpoint, I can tell you that this was the sole reason why I skipped the Oscars. I can get over the celebrity worship, the vanity, hell, I may even find a good movie or two that I hadn't heard of before, but I refused to be talked down to for 4 hours by a group of people who could never work another day in their life and it wouldn't impact their quality of life. And I know I'm not alone either. I preemptively skipped the Oscars to save my sanity, and I never even gave a second thought about the next laughably lame award show, the MTV VMAs. According to the Washington Post, this year's award show drew a total of 5.4 million viewers, making it the lowest rated VMAs in history. MTV has been garbage for about a decade or so, but this past Sunday's VMA hit an embarrassing all-time low. I'm sure there are more than just political factors for this decline, but we all know that celebrities love to spout out their personal politics, and MTV showcases the dumbest celebrities. Does anyone care what Teen Mom has to say about the economy? No. Is Kim Kardashian's plan for education viable? No. Shut up, don't care. On top of the whole Dear White People thing, or I should say Dear White Men, those videos that came out last year, or maybe it was earlier this year, that just was in bad taste. Look, MTV used to stand for music television, and MTV showcased all sorts of entertainment, from Michael Jackson to Van Halen, to more modern things like Britney Spears, Kid Rock, Jay-Z. MTV was a pretty cool, diverse place, a place where everyone that liked music could just come together and be entertained. But they've taken this stance that has turned a lot of people off. I know personally I hate the reality shows and stuff like that because they glorify stupidity and they raise up these stupid people. Hell, a lot of entertainment in general takes the worst traits of humanity, it glorifies them, and more people try to become like that. I mean, Kim Kardashian's only successful and famous because she had a sex tape and she got offered a reality show. It's not really a good thing to want to be like Kim Kardashian. She's just basically a whore. But speaking of these pieces of shit, I have a question. Why would your everyday citizen listen to some rich pious celebrity telling them how to live their lives? Those same celebrities have one thing in mind: self-preservation. And I say fuck those people. Do your jobs and entertain me. You want to teach us something? Become a teacher. You'll enrich more people's lives, but there won't be a $20 million paycheck waiting for you. Stop being hypocrites. Get in front of the camera and read the script someone more educated than you wrote. Besides the beautiful mouth breathers who wouldn't stop talking about their beliefs and causes, media companies are also partaking in this shitstorm. Netflix is incredibly guilty of pushing a left-leaning propaganda into every piece of their original content they produce. Their documentaries are rife with them, their original series can't exist without them, and the comedy specials are jokes themselves because they're just an hour of shit. And I don't mean funny shit, bullshit. Look at Amy Schumer's Leather special. There wasn't anything special about it. It was the same old tired trope of I'm a smelly whore, go me. No, Amy, go away. No one fucking likes you. The series always consists of dumb men who need to forgive their cheating wives, super efficient minorities, and incredibly gay characters that shatter all stereotypes. Let's pick up Ozark again real quick. I recently watched it. I talked about it on an episode of World Class Bullshitters. Ozark has an episode that goes back to 2008 to talk about how great Barack Obama is. I didn't turn off the episode because I dislike Obama, not at all. I turned off the episode because it jumps back in time 10 years and doesn't serve the plot at all. People would say, well, it's character development. I understand good character development, but these characters from Ozark did not develop at all. They basically appear with a set agenda and mindset, and they just try to spread it to the common folk that live in the Ozark Mountains. The only people that aren't beautiful or perfect are the people who work at the Walmart who sell a gun to a retarded guy. I mean, there's the only one fat person in the whole series. But they have their gay quota, they have their black quota. I mean, the show is blatantly obvious. Even the Marvel stuff isn't innocent from it. I mean, it's getting to a point where stuff like The Tick, which is just insanely absurd, is being rated higher than Marvel shows for me, because it's just refreshing to watch entertainment that actually entertains. I'm not trying to watch this entertainment that may or may not fall in line with my beliefs. Hell, even if I watched a show that I believed in 100% with their message, I still don't want that. I want to watch a show that's story-driven from point A to point B. I don't really need to talk about modern political problems, and we need to treat everyone the same and all this shit. No, what we need to do is, if you want to tell a story like that, just show it. I need the characters to stop and look at the camera and tell me about the evils of white privilege like Luke Cage did. No. You want to show a person of any color or any walk of life as an equal to the main character, then do it. Die Hard had Al Powell. He was the equal to McClane. He was just on the ground. He was completely competent. He was very efficient with what he did. He was able to stand up to the FBI, the chief of police. He actually had agency and purpose to the plot, and when him and McClane came together, you could see that they appreciated each other. That's how you write a character. I have found that I stream less and less from Netflix all the time. I spend most of my time on Hulu. There I get less political garbage in my content. If I want to kick back and watch Indiana Jones, Miami Vice, or Spider-Man, I can without interruptions for messages from the top. It's just like these people that are making these movies and TV shows think everyone's so dumb and they need to be taught how to do these things. It's like a weird social engineering experiment. In closing, it has become increasingly clear that entertainment is incredibly political, so much to the point where people are staying away. Like I just said, Netflix has become more and more political. I'm watching less and less of their content. It also is exacerbated by the fact that they put out more original content and less stuff from an already existing library. The only reason I subscribed to Netflix is because there were TV shows that I liked that weren't on DVD that I could get. They had the Spider-Man animated series for the longest time on there. They've had X-Men. They had Family Ties. They had shows that either don't exist or I don't own. And for the $8 a month, you can't beat the deal. Great movies would pop up left and right. I've said it before, I would watch the same movie 15 or 20 times that I would love. Like Fletch, I watched that 20 times in 1 month on Netflix. Now they just don't put out any classic content. It's just like that show with Kathy Bates, or Frankie and Grace, or Gracie and Frankie, or whatever the fuck that Lily Tomlin show is. Or there's just other crap that they're constantly putting out that no one even catches on. Now, it's not to say all of their content is garbage. I thought Glow was great. But you're getting to a point where Orange is the New Black is unbearable. I skipped this past season because I didn't really feel the need to be berated with this whole Black Lives Matter movement in my entertainment. All I wanted to do was watch a show about women in a prison, how they interact with each other, and maybe see some tits because apparently every woman in a women's prison is gay. So I'm coming at it from that point of view. Now, last year, Ghostbusters tried to play the feminist card to guilt audiences into theaters, and look how that turned out. Paul Feig, the studio, and most of the media cried sexism, misogyny, and the patriarchy as the only possible reasons for disliking this flick. Personally, I found the movie to be shit. Uninspired shit that ends with the bad guy getting shot in the dick. Not the epic ending like the original. Not even close. Now, while Ghostbusters isn't the only example of Hollywood playing this card, it's the biggest. Many assumed Wonder Woman would try to pull this, but the film itself didn't. The media built it up as such. The Alamo Drafthouse tried to make it a propaganda piece for feminism, but ultimately Warner Brothers, who made the movie, did not, and thus the film became a huge hit. There are less intrusive ways to infuse political messages into entertainment. Take John Carpenter's They Live, for example. Hugely political, eye-opening, mind-expanding, and most importantly, fun. You can touch on politics, but never shit on the audience while doing it. Today's Hollywood is so full of itself that its own hubris will be its downfall. For as much as social media likes to prove me wrong, people aren't that stupid, and they can see when they're being duped. Hollywood just doesn't know it yet. To get your point of view across, you need to make people think and not beat them over the head with it. That's fascism. So those are my thoughts on entertainment and politics. As you can clearly see, I think politics are too closely infused with our entertainment. I like escapism. I like to watch a movie like Star Wars. I can just sit back and enjoy the story, the struggle between the rebels and the Empire. I can sit down and watch a movie like The Evil Dead, and I don't have to hear Ash go on about, how men or women are just as qualified to fight the Evil Dead as he is and all this other dumb shit like a modern movie fucking would. But that's a bigger problem, too. These modern movies won't become classics. Honestly, ask yourself this question and tell me in the comments below. What modern movie that's overly political is going to become a classic? Actually, you can even take out the overly political part. What modern films are going to become classics? I haven't seen anything in a few years that is like, holy shit. Like, Baby Driver's it. To me, Baby Driver's a classic, a modern classic, if you will, that will be able to stand the test of time because it's not light fun. It has some heavy themes, but it's heavy themes that will apply to all people of all ages, all walks of life, forever. Somebody loses their mom, they're raised by someone else, they turn to crime to make money, they can't get out. It works. That's a trope that works in entertainment. But now, if in 5 years they're like, hey, we're going to do a female version of Baby Driver with an all-female cast of female criminals, it's like, what's the fucking purpose? All these all-female versions don't serve a purpose. People don't dislike women in movies. People dislike a disingenuous reason to make a film with women in it. If men hated women in film, there would be no Princess Leia. Princess Leia action figures wouldn't have sold for over 40 years. Well, close to 40 years, excuse me. Alien. They wouldn't have made 4 Alien movies with Sigourney Weaver if men really hated women or if women did not work in film. It's just dumb people that make these movies. It's not even the women that are in the movies that are the problem. I hate The Force Awakens. I think Rey's a piece of shit Mary Sue character. Not the actress's fault. They're just people doing what they're told. But when the actor all of a sudden gets on an Apple box and tries to talk down to me and tell me about how my dislike of a character is based in sexism and I really need to check my privilege, that's when I have a problem. I apologize for this long rant. Hopefully you found some pieces of information in there that you found relevant or interesting. Even maybe a little bit of truth popped up here and there. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll be back later in the week with more videos and World Class Bullshitters. We'll be back this Thursday night with a very special message to all of our patrons. So, if you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you think. Are these movies and is Hollywood and entertainment in general just too politically fueled? Are people getting tired? We see that the numbers are dropping. A lot of people say it's unoriginality. A lot of people have said it's politics. It could be both. It is both, if you ask me. There are a lot of things I avoid based on just what I know is going to be in a fucking movie. Rough Night, didn't see it. Saw The Hangover, saw Very Bad Things 20 years ago. Awesome. Hangover, pretty damn good. This, what's new? It's not the fact that it's women, it's what's new. Oh my god, they're crazy. What's new? We're over on Facebook, World Class BS. We have 2 pages. You can join those. Talk to me, talk to the other guys. We'd love to have you. If you really like this channel, we're over on Patreon. We're going to get ready to change our perks. We're going to do a lot more exclusive digital content that will never come to this channel. So if you'd like to hear us do reviews of stuff like, not even reviews, commentaries. So if you'd like to hear us do a commentary for like the Indiana Jones trilogy, which is coming up soon, it's going to be over on Patreon. Back to the Future, over on Patreon. All kinds of stuff is going to be exclusive to Patreon, and it's only going to cost $1 a month. So, thank you for everything you guys have done. Thanks to the nearly, 1,000 plus subscribers that have joined in the past 2 weeks. And, we appreciate you joining the World Class Bullshitters family, and we promise to put out quality content every week. So, thank you for watching, and I will be back later in the week.